My brother keeps crashing my dates.
Sounds like your brother wants something on your date.
Basically, my 20 male brother, 26 male, has never been exactly successful with girls. To be blunt, he's a virgin. He's not had his first kiss or gone on a date. He's kind of a nerdy guy, but I'm like a super nerd too. We both play games, read a lot, and stuff. Main difference between us is that I also have other hobbies like sports, and in general, talk to girls more. Freaking dunk on your brother, man.
Boom.
Dunk
I'm just
on him.
better.
I'm just better
I'm
than
hotter
he is.
and more nerdier.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. He said, my brother's a nerd. I'm a super nerd. Though I don't know if talk to girls more is a symptom or the cause. By the way, this comes from Mergalot. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So either way, he kind of strongly resents me for talking to girls. He says that it isn't fair that I shouldn't be able to do that since I'm younger and shorter than him. For some reason, the height is a big thing for him. I'm about 170 centimeters and he's about 185.
He's 6 foot and he still can't pull girls?
Going. He questions me every time I mention I'm going to go out and gets kind of strongly pissed off if I tell him I'm going with my girlfriend. He's been doing this since I was, I want to say 14. But since I entered this relationship about 1.5 years, almost 2 years now, anniversary coming up, he got way worse. I don't live with him anymore, but he still calls a lot and has been getting upset. He used to call me in the middle of the night when he felt bad about his girl issues. He had a habit of saying he felt worthless because of not being able to date girls, and sometimes calling me around 4 a.m. or so in a borderline panic attack to talk to me about it. I told him to stop this because, well, it was one thing to do it when I was younger, but now my girlfriend usually sleeps with me. Like, even when we don't do anything spicy related, we just like to sleep together because, hey, cuddling's awesome, and I'll fight anyone who disagrees. You don't have to fight me. So I don't like my phone ringing at 4 a.m. and told him to stop. Turn your phone on silent.
Also,
It's an easy fix.
easy fix here, right here.
Yeah.
Sounds like you got low confidence, and if you commit yourself to a couple of months at the gym, you will be so like baffled by how much confidence you're getting. Because it just sounds like he has no self-worth.
Yeah, I feel like people say, oh, I'm nerdy, so I can't get girls. Nah, girls love nerdy guys.
There's one right there.
Yes. The thing is, I think it's when you're antisocial or socially awkward. I feel like they equate the two. And it's like, they're not always,
Girls like guys that know a lot about stuff.
It's true. Being competent, hot.
Talking to girls, it's not really a scary thing. Some of them are
We're
scary.
just people.
Yeah, they're
We're
people
just
too.
people like you.
Yeah, especially when they're really beautiful. It might be a little tough to say hey, but sometimes you just got to turn around and ask them what their name is.
And there you go. Recently, he flew over to visit me. I'm at university. And well, I kind of got the impression he flew over more to try to date someone than to see me. My girlfriend had a less than positive impression of him, and I can't even disagree with her. She went into super protective mode and was like, okay, we're keeping him away from you. Cause, well, his behavior in person got a lot worse than last time I saw him, like 2 years before. And he kind of looked at me and my girlfriend funny every time we kissed and stuff. He also, and this is according to my girlfriend and a friend of hers, looked at them in ways that made them feel uncomfortable and looked down my girlfriend's shirt while she was bending over to get something. No.
Seems like he's gone down a rabbit hole and is now seeing women as
objects,
playthings rather than people.
Well, yeah, I think that when you get into that kind of thing, I think a lot of men do this where they're so scared to talk to women and they put them on pedestals and then you start to objectify these women and that's not
then hate
good.
them.
Yeah, and then you're like, well, these women don't talk to me and they don't realize that I'm a nice guy. And it's like, no, you're not.
I'm nice guys, finish last.
No, you just have nothing to offer. He used to see a therapist but gave up. Parents are of no help in that regard. Major reason I've kind of reached my limit is that when I confronted him about the looking down my girlfriend's shirt incident, he started to cry and say that I was being a terrible person because I was turning the first time he saw front airbags into a bad memory.
Time out. Wait a second.
Oh my God, I would punch him.
This is the first time in my bloodline I have ever heard this sentence. Anyone in my family has ever heard this sentence. You were turning, looking at front airbags into a bad experience?
No.
What kind of...
He said... OP's brother said me looking at your girlfriend's front airbags, you saying, hey, don't look at my girlfriend's front airbags, turned it into a bad memory. Why are you looking? You freaking creep.
Dude,
I hate this man.
this guy needs to understand how to
Lord,
respect people.
I would literally say, like, get out of here. Oh my goodness. I'm not exaggerating it. That's exactly what he said. After that, I was like, okay, I'm done with you. Good. And didn't talk to him until he left. I spent the whole time with my girlfriend to make sure she was okay with everything. She was okay with me, rather hates him though, which is more than fair. He also complained that I was apparently having more fun with my other friends than with him and tried to yell at me for it. I literally never want you to have any fun in the rest of your life. You suck. I feel bad for him because there was a time when he was really just a supportive guy and I thought he was awesome. I remember being like 6 and wanting to grow up to be just like him. Now it's like, what happened to you, man? I idolized you. How did it turn out like this? Where's the big brother who had my back and taught me how to handle problems at school? At the same time, the way he's acting is unacceptable, so I'm at a point where either he needs to seriously change himself or I can't see him again. And there is an update, folks.
I'm so lucky I have a brother like my brother.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, man.
My brother is great and very respectful, and I just can't even imagine someone like your own brother saying this to you. One, about any woman.
Yeah.
But 2, about your own girlfriend.
Yeah, dude, this is so weird.
Yeah.
I think he's just not like that. He's put himself in a situation where he's very antisocial, won't get out, only relies on video games. That's the only way he can cope. And now he's like turned into this like evil, like little goblin person that looks down women's shirts and it's a creep.
Yeah. Gross. Gross.
This is where we need community. We need.
Yeah.
Dang.
Teach your sons how to be not creeps.
Yeah.
Teach them how to respect women.
And there's so many guys like this out there that just there's nothing. Like,
yeah. Like, I don't know. Just stop teaching you boys to think that there's this huge delineation between men and women. We're all just people. And there is an update. 6 months later. As an update, I'm 21 now and he's 27. Been a while since I posted. Happened to come home for a week, reading week at university, and saw I was still logged into this throwaway. Figured an update might be good in case anyone was curious. So, unfortunately, I've cut my brother off from my life. Makes sense. Not completely, but that's more to avoid issues than anything else. I still occasionally respond to his texts like once every 2 weeks or so, but I've stopped talking and hanging out with him. It's just that a less dramatic cutting him off is more effective than a "we're done" talk and avoids many issues. He attempted to get into therapy again after I bargained with him, said I'd hang out with him a bit more if he did, but he quickly stopped going after saying that his therapy visits just made him feel worse. Later, he explained that he felt like the therapist was judging him by trying to find out why he wasn't having success with women. She probably was judging you, or they were judging you probably very hard.
She was trying to make you critically think.
She was like, why do you think that women don't like to talk to you?
It's sad because you can be uncomfortable in 2 ways, like uncomfortable being in your own skin.
Yeah.
Or uncomfortable doing hard things and you're choosing to be uncomfortable in your own skin, thus making everyone around you uncomfortable in their own skin.
He didn't quite tell me like that, but after filtering through his rants, that's basically what he said. He repeated things like, felt so judged. It made me feel like it was my fault. A lot. From what he said, it sounded like the therapist wasn't doing anything wrong, in my opinion. He continued to treat women poorly and, well, put it this way, he went back to college to join a bunch of clubs so he could hang out and meet new people. Couple days later, he mentions the girls were super superficial, and on the same breath starts talking about how attractive they were. Says he's just an emotional sponge to women, which he described to me as, well, just being a friend. Things like hanging out when a friend is down or buying them a soda when you feel like they had a tough day. The way he described it, it sounded like some kind of heck instead of, well, friendship. Because he doesn't know how to be friends with women. And he doesn't want that. He doesn't want any sort of friendship with women. So I come home 1 week. Parents' Place tournament was near home rather than university. Having just gotten a medal at aforementioned tournament. Woo! And with girlfriend and friends from the team. We are all in a good mood. I cook food and stuff. He goes to his room in a hurry, so I brought him some food. I cooked since I know he's awkward in front of new people, but might still be hungry. He kind of, not really intentionally, but sort of, made me drop the plate by getting on my face and rushing at me, if that makes sense. I was kind of scared. He went on a semi-incoherent rant about how people like him made him feel terrible. And seeing me with girlfriends, sports was the absolute worst thing for his self-esteem. how I was a terrible brother and things like that. He also called me a normie, which is a thing I wish no one not in high school said unironically. Overall, he was being very negative and, well, a knucklehead. So I was like, okay, and went downstairs to spend time with friends. Later, we went back to our university town. Sorry for being vague, just on the super unlikely case he's reading this since he's big on Reddit. Well, then again, guess he'd know from context anyway, so I guess I'm just being paranoid. And started having a party there. I say party, but come on, we're on the fencing team. We're the nerdiest of athletes. It was actually just friends hanging out with some girly drinks. I proudly love girly drinks. They're the best thing. They're just sweet drinks. There's no such thing as a girly drink. It's just a drink and it's sweet. Pizza, and One Punch Man. I'm having a blast and he calls asking what I'm doing. And when I answered, he started crying and going on a rant about how it was unfair that people like me got to have that.
Bro,
You sound like
you gotta
a
go back to
nightmare.
therapy or something. I can't do
Be
this.
around you.
Can't do this.
I don't even know what people like me means. He's saying people that are nerdy also get to like have friends and have a relationship and stuff. And he's like, but I'm nerdy and I can't have that because he's unpleasant to be around.
Yeah, dude, I feel like, you know what the Chinese government does? If they find someone that's depressed, like a guy that's depressed, make him join the army. And then after like a couple of months, he gets a sense of purpose and he like starts flourishing. He looks happy. He looks like he's like actually comfortable. This guy
He just needs to join the army.
join the army or just have a sense of purpose, because this guy has no purpose except for looking at everything in a negative way. Whenever he was explaining his friends, he said, oh yeah, I feel like a punching bag because I buy them a soda if they're down, or just being there if they're
And I
in a
don't
bad
get
mood.
anything in return.
It's transactional, and then also it's always bad. Friendships are always bad. It's weird. Weird.
But either way, he was having too much of an effect on my life, and my girlfriend got so sad worrying about me. I figured that taking care of my brother wasn't selfless. Not now that I'm sharing my life with someone, been living with her for a year now, and dating her for over 2. I wanted to be a nice, loving brother and to care over his mental state over my own. But even if I wanted that, I can't possibly care for his mental state over my girlfriend's. And she got way too sad watching me. I had to be a little selfish. So yeah, nothing overly dramatic. Just kind of did some grown up and realized that nothing ever affects only me, because I'm surrounded by wonderful friends and loved ones. So I put up a lot of distance between brother and I, and I've never been so happy. It hurts to distance myself from the brother I've always admired. Like when I was little, I wanted to be just like him, you know? But now, it is what it is. Looking back doesn't get me anywhere, right? Or how my coach puts it, looking back's literally against the rules, so like, don't do it. For some reason, thinking that always puts a smile on my face. By the way, you know what can put a smile on your face? Listening to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. Do you have any final thoughts?
This guy needs to go to purpose camp.
Yeah, find your purpose. Because you don't have one, and you're just drifting and being an awful person to everyone, and no one likes you.
A negative force of energy.
You're draining everyone around you, and you need to stop. Danny Elliott says, reminds me of that creepy young brother in Anime Shiki. Thank you for the $5. Yeah, there's a lot of guys like this guy. He's not unique, which he'd probably hate to hear.
It's just a product of, not a great household, or like,
He's probably online and hearing all
online.
these like red pill things.
That just like a bad influence of people, because like, men thrive off, or anybody, but like, especially guys need like a awesome and proactive and encouraging community of guys, a group of guys, because they don't have that.
Yeah,
Dude,
well, you
when
wanna
I moved to
help
LA
your
for a little bit, I was kind of like, but then I found like some basketball peeps, and then like I started flourishing again.
I also think, I think all of the men that I know in my friend group are very lovely, and make me proud to call them my friends, because I think that, I think I have a lot of friends, especially in college, who were like not fans of men, and I found really lovely men, and I feel lucky for that.
Let's go.
So this guy sucks.
She's avoiding eye contact with me.
Yeah, not you.
Not
No,
this.
of course you.
Bozo beside of me.
But there are some final comments. Moopig48, the verbiage he's using reminds me of incels. That's because he is one. Literally definition-wise, is one. Exact same language and everything. They're a miserable lot in general. He is digging his own grave with friends and women with that attitude. There isn't much more you can do other than cut contact and tell him to seek therapy. And Opie says, Jesus, that place is horrifying. And it does sound like language he has used before. I hope to God he hasn't been there, but oh my goodness, that's man. I don't want to believe it, but it does actually fit. Jesus. Guess it was definitely the right decision to cut him off. And Unqualified 19 says, he sounds like Elliot Roger. Who's that? An incel, I'm assuming? Everything your brother has done sounds obnoxious, but is there any way to help him that won't be a burden on you? Dude needs help. And OP responds, I've tried getting him into therapy, but he rejected that at every corner. I don't know what to do about him. Osika Taco? Is there maybe something wrong with him mentally? Like he's not all there? OP says he seems all there about everything except women and social stuff in general. Fairly smart guy and all, doesn't stumble upon his words or anything around me. He just thinks women are basically the devil. And this unhealthy view of women is really scary because it can, manifest in much more dangerous ways. He suffers from depression according to the therapist that he saw for a little bit before quitting, but that's all I can tell you for sure. What do OP's parents think of this? Same approach as me, they're both trying to make him go to therapy. His response was that if we keep insisting, he's just gonna move out, which might turn out to be the case. Maybe that'll be helpful. He originally wanted to move in with me, but I shut him down firmly.
Oh my God.
Paula X-Ray says, your poor parents, I can't imagine what I do if one of my kids turned out like this. Opie says, I know, it unalives me too. I'm just trying to be as supportive as I can with them and make them proud. They blame themselves about how things turned out, but I always try to convince them that they were wonderful parents because, well, they were and still are. They were the absolute best. It's just, this sort of happened and we don't know how to deal with it. And folks, that's the end of that story.
Yeah.
I don't think that your parents were necessarily like bad or anything. I think they probably were great for you, but I do think that there is, because of the access to like the internet that kids are provided or have been provided for a while, I think you kind of have to go above and beyond as a parent in a way that you probably didn't have to before.
Yeah.
To make sure that your kids are not being influenced by much more negative areas of the internet.
Yeah, because there's a screen, there's a way to get into about anything.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's like a really great interpretation of a show called Adolescence. It's on Netflix. That like really talks about how like parents can kind of do everything right in a way, and then a kid just goes down this terrible, terrible pipeline because of the internet. And because the outside influences that sometimes you as a parent cannot control, and how do you feel, how you feel responsible for that decline. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough.
Oh, wild. Incels. If you know one, reach out and maybe
get them out of there.
Send them a, purpose camp.
Yeah,
send them a link to this story.
Yeah.
I think that would just make it worse for them.
They'd be like, oh, I get this guy.
I don't know.
Maybe if they hear us ragging on incels.
Yeah, then they'll just be like,
honestly,
of course,
I feel
everyone's ragging on
like
incels.
if you want to help an incel friend out, go do some volunteer work in some capacity that might help.
Anything.
Bring them some grass to touch.
I think they just need like a sense of purpose. Yeah, that's really what it is.
They feel very inept and inadequate in their life, and so they take it out on the women and blame it on them.
Weird.
But we got another story, folks.
Yay! Yippee! Yippee!
Here you go.
Yay! My sister kept ignoring me for her boyfriend.
Stop ignoring me!
First off, my 23 female sister, Danielle, 29 female, we'll call her, basically raised me. Our mother has mental health issues, so growing up, it was just the two of us. There's obviously a big age difference. She's always been the mature one who I can turn to, and etc. Learn my morals from her. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Christmas, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. And secondly, she started a new job a while back and loved it. I was happy for her because she hated her last place, and she seemed to make genuine friends with her new coworkers. But then she started going out weekly, then almost daily, and I missed her. She kept coming back wasted at 7 a.m. and then going to work at 10 a.m. and insisting it was fine because she never had a hangover. The best way to beat a hangover the best way to beat a hangover is to keep drinking.
That's what they say.
That's right.
Never had to do that.
What I've heard. Obviously, it was Christmas right now. We don't really practice religion, but we still celebrate it for the family. Get together, watch movies, etc. Danielle was off for the first time in 5 years. She didn't work Christmas Eve or Boxing Day.
Ooh, British.
And I was
or
so
Australian.
excited. Literally the first time since I was a teenager that I'd be able to spend the entire holiday period with her.
Aw, Opie just want to hang out with her. This is me with Sam.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to hang out with you.
Aw, it's so
you're
sweet and nice, right? Only no.
No.
First, she says her and her friends might be going out on Boxing Day,
What the
But-
heck?
only for a bit. Then that's going all day Christmas Eve. I was disappointed, but figured at least we'd had Boxing Day together. Then she gets back on the 24th. She's not only drops that she's still going out all day on the 26th,
And that's Boxing Day. The Boxing Day is a day after Christmas.
but that she's dating a 21-year-old who she met through work.
How old is she?
29.
Ooh.
Nah,
Uh,
it's totally fine.
can be. It can be fine.
Sophia
questionable.
is ageist, everyone.
I'm not ageist. I just think that you gotta be a little bit more careful when there's when you're that young and there's an age gap. I think it can work out completely fine. Just gotta keep your eyes open.
She's ageist, everyone.
Okay, well, Riley apparently doesn't care about young people. He hates them.
I think young people over the age of 18 can make decisions for themselves.
Riley, this is like totally opposite of everything we've ever talked about. This is completely new thought. And he's doing it just because he wants to disagree with me. That's literally why he's doing it.
Just making a point here.
That you don't even agree with.
I don't want to open up an age gap debate, but I do
Apparently Riley
personally
does.
find it gross. Not just because of the sheer age gap, but for a few other reasons. One, they seem to have bonded by her getting blackout wasted constantly, working while still wasted, and finding it cool. Two, he's the brother of one of her coworkers who they're lying to and pretending it's just casual. And three, if I ever dated a 31-year-old, she unalived me. Heck, she regularly mocks me for finding Colin Firth hot.
Colin Firth.
That guy. But somehow, this is fine.
Colin Firth is hot. We were just talking about him in another episode.
It's just hypocritical of me. I have no idea who that is.
Colin Firth.
He's the guy that did that one movie. Remember that?
Here,
No.
I'm gonna show you a picture of Colin Firth while you read.
Okay.
You'll know him, or
Is
you
he
should know him.
British?
Mhm.
No need.
This is Colin Firth.
Also, he seems to be paying for everything. He even got her Christmas presents, and he's done nothing in return. That guy,
Yes, Colin Firth.
he was in that movie.
He was in Bridget Jones.
Oh, that is the most British man ever.
He's a very British man.
Yep, that's that you look up British man and that's him. Him and
Mhm.
Hugh Grant right beside of each other. Oh man. She didn't get him any gifts in return. Again, if I had a partner treat me like that, he'd be incredibly angry. But anyway, she gets back on the 26th, tries to talk to me about how they kissed. And today she goes to work, comes back ill, and announces she has half an hour to get ready because they're going out this evening. Then she was surprised when I didn't want to hug her. I don't mind her dating, frankly. It would be weird if I did. I do mind how she's basically ignored me and our entire family and her other friends for this boy. I mean, she's clearly ill, could be the vid, but she's still going out, which this behavior she'd critique in anyone else. When she worked retail, she hated anyone who went out on the 24th or 26th, as they were the reason she had to work and not be with us. But it's okay for her to go out on those days? I'm sorry for the long ramble. I don't even know if anyone will read this or if I'm in the right to be upset with her at all. It's like I don't know her anymore. Before this, I would have said she was more than my sister. She was my best friend and parental figure who I admired more than anyone else. Literally, as I was typing this, she came to inform me that she'd be out tomorrow and Friday as well. But I'd have the chance to spend time with her on Thursday if he didn't ask her out again. What do? I suffer from anxiety, depression, and I don't know. I've tried asking her to stay home more, but she just says she has someone else now, so I need to learn to share, which felt dismissive. I want her to be happy, but I just miss her. And I don't know how to respond to her new behavior. I don't know. Any help would be appreciative. We have an update. Sophia, what are your thoughts about her new behavior?
Okay, well, it's definitely weird. She's going out when she's sick. It feels like she's doing a lot of things.
Of course, you bring that up first.
Well, yeah. I mean, if that's something that she would critique in others and saying like, oh, I can't believe people would go out when they're sick and try and like get other people sick. If like that's something that she cares about. If something else she cares about is OP dating older men and that's something that she's critiqued. And I was like, it feels very conflicting to her or contradictory to her behavior that OP's witnessed before. And then also I think it's totally fair that you want to hang out with your sister over a holiday and we're expecting that and then don't get to hang out with her at all. So I do think that she is reacting or is acting really differently. And I think that you can bring that up and say, hey, like I've noticed, like you're behaving a little bit differently than I've, grown to know, like who I have grown to know you as, the person that I have this view of. And I just wanted to talk about it and make sure you're feeling okay. And also tell you that I miss you and I want to hang out with you.
And it's weird that she didn't seem to get blackout drunk all the time, but now she's doing that and going to work 3 hours later.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, what's going on in her life that's caused this change? Because I think you can get curious first. Don't come to it with like a judgment, like this is weird, you're weird. But come to it with like, I miss you and I love you and I'm worried about you. Yeah.
We have an update. Hi, so it's been a while. I completely forgot about the original post till now. And I figured, well, I like reading updates, so I might as well give one for this. The original post didn't get much attention, but the responses I got helped me a lot, and I relied on that advice a lot last year. So, what's happened since? Well, after Christmas, I followed everyone's advice and did my own thing. Tried to make new friends. It went horribly, like it was bad, and my sister would say that she's there for me, but she never actually would be home. She's been out drinking or sleeping at her boyfriend's parents' house or partying, etc., and it hasn't stopped to this day. Around 3 or 4 months after Christmas, being vague for reasons, it was our mother's 50th birthday. Danielle promised to take care of it and went AWOL on the day of. I had to
Absent without official leave is what it stands for.
Went AWOL.
I didn't know what it stood for. I just knew it was an acronym.
I had to handle everything with my distraught mother. Our extended family was going what the F and trying to get into contact with my sister, who could have been passed away in a ditch for all we knew. Luckily, she actually just got so hammered the night before that she forgot. She woke up at 3 p.m. to missed calls, texts, and rocked up at home where she was still living at the time, still wasted. She hadn't wrapped any of my mom's gifts or written her a card, despite repeatedly telling me not to worry about it. She refused to accept any blame or guilt over her behavior, and I had to fix everything. Mom and the rest of the family haven't forgiven her till this day. I haven't either. I get dreading family events, but showing up wasted at 3 o'clock in the afternoon for an event you volunteered to organize and saying it's okay because it's just family, it's not nice. Like, she's still living at home at that time, but a few weeks later, she announced that she was moving in with her boyfriend's parents for independence. I helped her pack. First, I felt awful, but never lived apart from her. And then she moved out, and the whole house has never been better.
Dang, I really am worried about this girl, though. I'm really worried about her. What's going on?
She's not, I cleaned up her old room and took it for myself. It's bigger. I cleaned up so many vapes and bottles and mildly moldy half-eaten food.
Ew.
She was clearly unwell, I reckon, but hiding it. I struggled a bit with the bills, but I'm comfortable now. We're renovating rooms that my sister always refused us on, and more recently, we adopted a dog.
Oh.
He's the best boy ever and brings me his ball when he gets excited. My job is going well too. I got a promotion and my coworkers have really banded around me. Mom is honestly doing better than ever. She's on the right meds and therapy. She F's up, she owns it, and works on ensuring it doesn't happen again. My sister got fired from her last job. Turned up wasted too many times.
Oh, something's going wrong. Oh.
She got a new one more recently with half the hours, which she prefers, and I can't exactly blame her for that. Working less is always fun.
I'm so concerned for this girl. I'm genuinely so scared for her. Like, please look into this, because this is not normal.
Doesn't sound
Especially
good
if there's
at all.
just been a huge change, like a huge shift in her life. Like, OP even said, it seems like she was unwell but hiding it. And then it was like, anyway, like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Someone check in, please.
Yeah. She still lives with his parents. Stayed over a few times. She's my sister, you know. I'm not turning my back on her, but outside of that, we don't see each other that much. She visits maybe once every other month. I'm aware this update may come off one-sided, like, yay, everything's better without her. And it's not that. It's she hates change. So we could never solve anything in the house because she was tired and didn't want to. I couldn't see the point in it. She and Mom would argue constantly, and I'd hate Mom for it. My sister was the only person I had. And then she left. And after the story, we would like if you leave and go to your favorite podcast platform, search up OK Storytime on Apple, iHeartRadio, or Spotify. And we have so many stories, so we will never leave you alone. Just press play. And we literally can't leave you alone for 65 days straight. We can't.
Actual Drop Bear says she's catching up on her early 20s that she missed having to raise OP. And then Saren Simone says if she was parentified as a kid, she's now rebelling. It's a normal thing that happens. She will have to get to the other side of this. Therapy will help.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's just like I think that's true, but I think like when you get to the level of like moldy food in the room and drinking in the morning and drinking at work, it's like this is a problem.
Yeah, seriously, a huge problem.
Huge problem.
If she had suddenly done this, conspiracy theory, boyfriend's parents should drink too.
I just think that she's not around good influences right now. Concerning.
Back to the story. I realized I was the only person
Hey, you're not having the parties like this girl's having.
No, I don't even drink.
Yikes. So, OP continues. I realized I was the only person she had because she wanted it that way. Me and mom are closer now. No more arguing or screaming. I've reconnected with college friends my sister insisted I didn't need. I eat healthier and exercise. So yeah, I don't know. Life is way better now for us. Hope it is for her too, but I also hope she never comes back. As much as I miss her and our idiotic jokes, I don't think she was a very good sister. Thanks again. It's such a sad realization to have.
But I also think she's just like changed a lot.
Yeah.
I think she's going through. This is really sad.
This
I
is
really
sad.
want them to like hash it out and come back to each other later when she's, turned her life around or something.
Yeah.
Ouch. 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 Ouch.
She
This is
definitely needs good
sad.
influences in her life. Ugh. Yikes. But that's the end of that story. We got another one coming right up. I'm going to get this lined up for everyone.
My sister wanted our other sister to be her surrogate.
Just think her genes are better than yours.
I, 28 female, am stuck in a tough situation between my two sisters, Shirley, 30 female, and Mary, 22 female. Shirley's always been the bossy big sister, and Mary's the sweet passive one who will do anything to keep the peace. This dynamic has been our norm for as long as I can remember.
Ay, ay, ay.
By the way, this comes from Far Hedgehog 1887, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, Shirley and her husband have tried to have children for 2 years now, but the 3 pregnancies she had during this time were terminated before the 11th week. They've been devastated, which I genuinely feel for. The problem is that Shirley latched on to the idea of Mary carrying the baby for her. Mary's set to graduate from college in 4 months, and the plan is to start the process immediately after. Mary says she's okay with it, but she's always just looking sad about the things she'll miss, like partying or her favorite foods, and Shirley will have her move in to make sure she's following a specific pregnancy diet. Or she seems anxious about the process itself.
Few things. One, which one's the sister, Shirley or Mary?
So Shirley is the
Which one's the passive?
one?
Which one's the...
So Mary is the younger sister, Shirley's like the bossy one.
Is Mary going to be, getting paid for this? Because that's
a big, paid for, who's driving her to the doctor's appointments, It's a big commitment to carry a baby.
Yeah, that's what I need to know here.
Yeah.
And it looks like she's just trying to get a free surrogate and boss someone around. If someone's okay with being a surrogate, it sounds like an exciting yes.
Yeah. When we've talked about it, she said things like, Shirley's done a lot for me. This is the least I can do for her. Or she's really counting on me. I don't want to let her down. Girl, you don't have to do this. She keeps brushing off her own doubts, and it's so obvious to me that she's only agreeing because Shirley's guilt-tripping her. Ugh, Mary seems to also be mourning her body. Girl, she's 22. She's 22.
Yikes.
And obviously a lot of people have kids at 22. She doesn't want to have a kid. Her sister's asking her to have someone else's child at 22.
Weird.
Doing a lot of body checks in the mirror. Once she laughed anxiously, joking about how it's all gonna go. Girl. I think partly because, it will change a lot. But also because Shirley keeps making comments about how Mary won't be cute and skinny anymore. Girl. Oh my God.
What?
These comments make me furious. But every time I push back, Shirley dismisses me, saying, she's just telling the truth, and I don't understand sacrifice for family. I'm gonna sacrifice your face. I'm worried because Mary has always looked up to Shirley to the point of idolization. I think she's afraid of saying no because she doesn't want to disappoint her, and because of the absolute heck she'd make. But I can see how uncomfortable she is when the whole surrogacy thing comes up. She also keeps looking at pregnancy complications and birth videos, and I can see she's so anxious about the whole thing. I don't want to overstep or make things worse, but I also can't just sit back and watch Mary sacrifice her body and mental health for something she doesn't want. I've tried talking to her about whether this is what she truly wants, but she just deflects and says, Shirley's been through a lot and deserves this.
No, she's making out like she's been through a lot.
She does not deserve your body. No one deserves your body. She does not have a right to it.
Someone said she's not an incubator.
No, exactly. She's treating Mary like she is. I don't care if she saved your life. There is no reason that you owe her your body, Mary.
What if she saved your life, like, hear me out, saved you 5 times?
Nope.
And Shirley's really nice.
Nope.
And
there's
the surrogacy
nothing.
is only a month.
There's nothing that would guarantee anyone a right to, or give anyone a right to your body.
I'm saying a different scenario. There might be, this one's a little hard to look at.
Nothing. How do I get more involved? How do I approach Mary without making her feel more pressured? How do I help her see that it's okay to say no if she doesn't want this? Would going to Shirley help with anything? Edit for those asking about official clinics. They didn't go to a clinic with Mary specifically yet, but I'm afraid that won't be enough to get her an easy out. They had to have some treatments and exams where, from what I understood, only about 20% of Shirley's eggs were good for use. They've had talks about how if the pregnancy has risks because of her eggs, she's open to having a kid not of her own, as she puts it. That's one of the reasons why she wants Mary, because if she needs the eggs, it's the closest DNA she has to her own. So she also wants to take Mary's eggs. So when they find out a clinic won't do it, I think they'll just spend a few months getting used to the idea of doing it DIY and then do it? Huh? Are you just going to make your poor sweet sister have spicy sleep with your husband? What? There is an update, but
Dude, this is wild. This is so wild on so many different levels.
OP needs to talk to Mary.
This woman, okay.
Yeah.
If she's going to bring a child into the world like this, I don't think she should be a mother or parent.
No,
This is
I agree.
her
I'm sorry.
thought process.
She keeps saying, "Oh, I deserve," like everyone keeps saying, "Oh, I deserve this. She deserves this. She's got had such a tough life." No one deserves a child.
Yep.
Child deserves a good parent.
On a real
And
note,
I don't think she's going to be a good parent.
if I saw this as a sister, what I'm doing is calling any clinic within 100, 200, 250, 1,000 miles.
And saying, this girl does not want to be pregnant.
Miles. Be like, hey, this is what it is. She's basically being forced into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, call the police, get the police involved. Something. I don't care. I'm not going to let Mary go through this because of Shirley's passive aggressiveness. That's what I'm going to be doing. Turkey baster? Okay, Billy Tom, you're wild for that one. Holy cow.
Girl, they're saying the DIY, yeah.
Also, Shirley really wants a kid? You can adopt one.
Literally. She's so upset. She's obviously very obsessed with, DNA and it being biologically your kid. But come on. I think you need to sit down, Mary, and say, hey, I know that you think that you owe it to Shirley. You don't. And if you have any doubts about this at all, don't go through with it. And then lay out, she's been looking it up, lay out, say, there can be complications and you can lose your life.
Yep.
You can have a C-section. You can have a scar on your body forever. There are so many complications that go into pregnancy. It is not for the faint of heart. It is not for people that are unsure. Yeah. And it's not for anyone else to make a decision about you.
Also, more importantly, you're doing it for free.
You're doing it for free.
That's not the more importantly part.
No, it is an important part. You're doing it for free.
The most important part is, risking your own life. But people get paid anywhere from $50,000 to $200,000 to do this. So think about that. And I bet you know what? I bet you every penny in my bank account that Shirley gonna make Mary drive to the hospital by herself. Make her make her do her doing all by herself, and then forcing her to eat all the foods that she wants. You're not gonna be able to eat that double bacon cheeseburger from Burger King you want because your sister wants you to eat the carrots in the fridge for her.
Yep. And there's an update, folks. How the timeline of events happen. Shirley's in-laws are kind of rich and have this obsession about their firstborn and only son having his heir. Ew, I hate them.
Wait,
They're
I'm sorry.
I want what?
Before we get into this update.
Yes.
Can we back up?
Yeah.
Everyone look at Angie, and we're all going to say, wake up, Angie! Wake up! You see her face?
You're fine.
I'm fine.
She's awake.
You literally looked at me like this.
I'm so tired.
Aww.
Dude, you good?
I don't know why sitting here and just pressing buttons is so much more like
Well,
I'm just
because
like
you're not having to be on.
I'm not doing anything. And then it probably looks as bad because I just have the like red eyeshadow on. I didn't like put eyeliner on, so it probably looks like
You're even
I'm
more
dying.
tired.
But yeah.
Wow, sorry. I just wanted to
Yeah.
get to that before we get into it. Also,
You're
your
good.
shirt is popping on the screen, which is crazy.
I know, it looks great.
Shirley's kind of scared of her mother-in-law and is really feeling the pressure. I don't care. Shirley and her husband tried for 2 years to have a baby naturally. After miscarriage number 3, they went to a clinic, not to try anything yet, just to know what's wrong. From what I understood, the clinic said only a few of Shirley's eggs were good and that her husband should be healthier so he can have better baby juice. Shirley has the idea of having Mary as a surrogate. This is only an idea, not discussed with clinics or anything. Mary agrees and it becomes official that she will carry their baby. When the possibility of Shirley's good eggs still not being good enough was brought up, and the idea was to do it, and if Mary has a miscarriage, then they'll use Mary's eggs. I'm sorry, they cavalierly mention, and if Mary has a miscarriage, whatever.
Whatever, we'll just use
We'll
one
just
of
use
hers.
her eggs.
Because mine aren't any good anymore.
I'm sorry, are they implying that if Mary has a miscarriage, they'll just make her do it again?
That is crazy. This is wild.
Which is why I said that when they found out that the clinics would not allow Mary to be a surrogate, that they would probably do it homemade, because the only reason I can think of why they wouldn't do it DIY would be because they want Shirley's eggs. But since I learned they were open to Mary's eggs, then yeah, they'd see no problem going DIY. What exactly do they mean by that? So at the time of me writing the post, the plan was going to a clinic, doing IVF with Shirley's eggs, and putting into Mary, and if that didn't work, which everyone seemed to be thinking is what would happen, doing IVF with Mary. So after I posted, I did a few things that were suggested in the comments. Firstly, I showed Mary this post and the comments. She only read about a handful of them and then she threw up. She does that quite frequently under stress. Girl, don't have a baby. And didn't want to keep going.
Oh, good. Dude, OP,
Good. You need to scare her out of this.
you have
Yeah.
saved your sister's.
678 says they are treating her like a piece of meat. This is disgusting. Yes. Jillybean the Turtle says, it's giving Handmaid's Tale. 100%. 100%. They're treating Mary like a handmaid.
Yo.
It's disgusting. This way, I convinced her to go to a doctor friend of mine and had them explain the whole process to her. How that would change her body. How she might pass away. The bonding hormones she'd have to the baby. Front airbag feeding really freaked her out. Etc. Then we explained the situation and asked them for a letter stating that Mary was not suitable for pregnancy. Then I went to have a conversation with Shirley. Shirley has really surprised me with this whole situation since the beginning. I thought she'd definitely argue with it and demand to go to said doctor and want to know what exams were made and take Mary to a different doctor. But no, she just started crying.
Uh-oh.
Her mother-in-law is really the only person who Shirley is not the one in control with. And it's really weird to me how much this whole thing is stressing her out. Then I started my presentation, my literal slideshow presentation. And I did what another person had suggested, which was use Shirley's insecurities against her.
You know, this might not be the healthy way, but I'm for it because you gotta look out for your sister. You gotta look out for Mary.
Yes, you gotta look out for Mary because no one else is. I told her about how if it was Mary's eggs and Mary carried it, the whole family would see it as Mary's kid. It also helped that Mary told me that in the dinner where the plan was to announce to his parents, his mother said something along the lines of, her kid? Oh, what a pretty girl. Those pretty eyes, you know. There are evils that come for good.
So she's admitting that this is all an evil thing to make her have this child.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the mother-in-law is, yeah. I told Shirley we could IVF Mary's egg and put it in her, that we could even keep it a secret that it was Mary's. She seemed to like the idea, but was insecure with what would happen if that also didn't work out. Because again, we don't really know if her uterus isn't also part of the problem. I don't know if, is OP like trying to trick her or something? She's like, well, we could keep it a secret. I think she's leading up to insecurities.
Quick okay story time. I don't know why I had this conversation with my college liaison.
Mm-hmm.
One day she just kind of wanted to check on me, and I had a really good conversation with her. Honestly, in a way, kind of changed my life. She's just checking on me. Anyways, she was talking about how her son was with this one chick she did not like, and kind of knew his son wasn't really into her. So what she did was like, oh my gosh, I love that girl so much. I can't wait for you guys to get married and to have kids. Oh, you guys are such a good couple. Really went on with it. And then he started realizing like, oh, I don't want that. I don't really want to do that. Might be a strategy that OP's pulling.
I think maybe, because it seems like OP's not for these plans.
Because she's like, oh, But
Oh, you can just.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
If Shirley decided to do that and use Mary's eggs in the IVF,
Yeah.
guess who's going to know about it?
Yeah.
OP. And then guess who's going to have the blackmail on it? And that's what the whole thing that's bothering Shirley in this whole thing is that she doesn't have control over the mother-in-law. So if OP finds a plan that Shirley didn't think of, that's going to bother Shirley so much. So that's why she's kind of thinking herself out of it. So what OP's doing right now is thinking of every single possibility, playing chess, trying to get her to not do this, which is brilliant work on OP's part.
I told her that we could then put her good eggs or Mary's eggs into a different surrogate. She was against the idea at the beginning because she's a control freak, and she knows no one else would put up with her crazy rules besides Mary, and also mainly because she kind of sees Mary as her own, / an extension of herself, I think. She's not. She is her own autonomous person, Shelley. So Mary being pregnant almost feels like herself being pregnant. Icky, icky. I hate this woman. So then I started talking about having Mary in her home. How for the first 5 months, she wouldn't even look pregnant, so it'd just be hot, pretty, naive Mary walking around her home in pajamas and making breakfast for her husband. And how in every family event and doctor's appointment, the attention would be all on Mary. Which of course would be different with another surrogate because Mary's cute and lovable, and doesn't mother-in-law already seem to like Mary more?
Holy
OP
cow.
is playing chess.
Holy cow, OP.
And I repeated that again. If she or another person got pregnant, no one would have to know that it's Mary's. But everyone would know if Mary carried it because everyone knows that no clinic would allow that. So it'd be obvious that they did DIY. And Shirley finally accepted it. By the way, you should accept that you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. Folks, there's a little bit more to the story. Opie is freaking playing chess.
So I always say don't reason with the fool.
Yeah.
But in this case, you kind of have to, and you have to.
We got to do it smart. Which I think OP did it real smart.
This is kind of
She
crazy.
played on her insecurities, and that was really smart. So actually, you have to like only reason with her insecurities, or like use her insecurities against her, and that she is not just a good person, but she sucks as a person. So you got to use what you got.
Poor Mary's gonna do whatever Shirley wants.
Oh, man. And still, the whole thing of using Mary's eggs, even, still not cool.
Dude, it's because Shirley has an older and more evil version of herself, and it's her mother-in-law. And this is what the mother-in-law will do to about anyone, it sounds like.
Yeah, mother-in-law's like, I want an heir, and Mary is pretty.
Because they're sick, rich freaks that probably have fight circles at parties.
So true. They got a fight club at every party. Yeah.
Which,
probably.
low-key, I kind of want to do one with knights. You can hire knights to fight for you at parties. I thought about doing it for you.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It'd be like $1,000.
I just want to go to a joust.
Okay, we're going to medieval times.
Medieval times. Yeah, I would love that.
Medieval.
Let's do it. Medieval times. Let's do it. Let's finish it. Mary was so relieved when we invited her over to tell her. Shirley told her not to look so happy, and it made me a bit nauseous to think that she maybe knew Mary wasn't into it. She absolutely knew. I doubt Mary was, not incredibly obvious about the fact that she didn't want to go through with it.
Oh, sister, yes, please. Let me do it for you. Yes, please.
And she wanted to start the exams right away, even though she was insistent into only doing it after Coachella before.
I can't with these people. I cannot.
Mary just wants to go to Coachella and be a 22-year-old. So I guess she does truly want to. She also may be scared Shirley will change her mind and is trying to hurry things up. It's only been 2 weeks, so it's a miracle that they even got an appointment and 1 exam each. Shirley, Mary, and brother-in-law. Still no results, but the current plan is putting Mary's egg inside Shirley. I still don't like this plan. I still don't like it.
Guys, you got to stop. You got to call doctors. OP, your job's not done yet.
I've tried to talk to Mary about how she'll feel having a kid that's still hers in the world, but she seems too relieved to even think too much about it. Girl, think about this. She just makes a joke about how she's just happy her abs will stay in place and that's it. Stop saying yes to things. Like she thinks that she's going to be forced into this. You have a choice, Mary. 678 says, do people know how invasive an operation getting eggs is? This girl clearly doesn't know anything. That's the thing. She is so naive to all of these operations and to everything that goes into any of this that like she's just relieved that her sister's not making her have a baby. And it's like, you need to tell her she doesn't owe her sister anything. Thank you to everyone who commented, and I really hope I won't ever have to use this account again. And folks, That's the end of that story.
Holy cow. I've never
I don't think your work is done.
seen this before. This is a modern day's time of the Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
This is sick.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Can we find who these people are and report them to whatever society we can?
I think we gotta, man, because this is just so sad and upsetting.
Can we, low key, I just want to find this person's Reddit username, find their email
And be like,
connected, and
go
then
do more work.
Just like, here, we can work together. I have a whole team of people that would love to help.
Yeah. We'll tell Mary what's what, and we'll tell Shelly what's what.
And we'll
I'll tell you
talk.
that.
We need to, actually, the real problem is the mother-in-law.
That's true. Start at the source.
We go
say,
to the
"Shut up,
mother-in-law's
mother-in-law.
house
Miss Richie Rich.
with bats in hand,
Oh, dang.
and we just have a conversation.
We just have a conversation.
Why can't Shirley just get an egg donor? Because it's not her genes.
Yeah. She talked about like the whole DNA thing, and she sees Mary as an extension of herself. It's weird.
Really weird. Really weird and awkward. And Mary, you shouldn't have to do this.
But that's the end of that story and the end of the episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.